all, it's the tale of two cities, the have and the have-nots. But we know that the ratio of haves and have-nots is controlled by economics. And when there are too many have-nots, it creates crime. A crime is a profitable system. Believe it or not, ain't that ironic? Check it. Welcome to the District of Columbia. Watch where you walk, you better keep your feet up under you. Know some youngins who walk with a pump to keep their tummy stuffed. And if you try to stunt, they put the pump up to your tummy, bro. And they do it for no reason, other than the fact that they starving and you.
Bless. So tell us about your album, Peace King. What was kind of your motivation to come out with an album like this?
In the beginning, the process was really about reclaiming royalty, black excellence.
Okay.
I wanted to offer it as an offering to excellence, to the black identity, to black history, to black future.
Okay.
You know what I mean? But it took a transition. And it became more about being able to find peace in the storm.
Okay.
And about the king being reclaiming your royalty.
So you saying peace in the storm. What you break that down a little bit.
During the projected date of release,
okay,
my brother here in Sacramento, California, was shot and killed. And peace to me was no longer about this harmonious working together of all things.
Okay.
It became sanctuary within a storm.
Wow.
Peace. In fact, if things were always good, they wouldn't be good. We wouldn't know. We need polarity. So peace, in this sense, is that sanctuary within a storm, that safe place.
Okay.
And the king is royalty, as in the Most High, the Messiah, Yeshua. Peace, royalty.
No doubt. I mean, so you talk about royalty, you talk about kings, and when you have all of this music nowadays promoting the negativity of the black male and the black woman, you're now, it seems like, moving into more of a positive sense. I mean, Peace King, you're basically saying that we all coming from royalty. Is that correct?
Absolutely. You know, the idea is this. The music, its rhythm, its form is always ours. It's natural. When it was sold for capital gain,
okay,
the interest, the party of interest changed the message. Right? So if I invest something into you and I want to return on my investment, I'll control what you say because you're just advertising for my objective.
Yes, sir.
You advertise my objective. So we have what has been sold and perpetrated as hip-hop,
no doubt,
has a hidden agenda, a message. So the investor can get a return on their investment.
Okay.
But this message is for the people.
Yes.
This message is free for
so
the
you
people.
Still have the agenda, but it's not the agenda of commercialism, capitalism. It's the agenda of the people.
It's the people.
Yes, sir.
This is the people's music.
Okay.
This is the people's music. This is the people's current events. This is our current events. This is our news. This is our good news.
Yes, sir.
This is ours.
Yeah.
This is ours.
Good, bad news, the whole thing.
This is ours.
So before we talk about current events, crime pays. Now that's one of my knocks. So, what was the background, the perspective of crime pays?
Well, crime pays the investor of crime more than it pays the criminal.
Wow. So you're doing the whole twist, the flip thing.
Yeah. Crime. Right. So crime does pay, and so this one really comes out of like, I don't believe they solve crimes. I believe they move crime.
Okay.
They corridor crime, so they can still make the return off the prison industrial complex, off of ankle monitors, off of policing.
Yes, sir.
Right. But this cold reality came true alive when my brother was killed.
Okay.
And her name slips me. Her heart is good.
Yeah. But
it was someone's job to do victim family services.
Okay. And to you, that was like, you get paid to do this?
At my expense of pain. Here's the thing, there's nothing malicious or selfish about her. I hated that a system had designed a role to pay someone after I'm suffering.
Yes, sir.
You know?
That's interesting.
And uniquely enough, it's like, cheat at all. There's no malicious intent.
Yeah.
I can't believe
She's
that
just doing a job.
I can't believe that a system designed a job.
So when you say, because when you read the title of the song, Crime Pays, in the mindset, because we lack kind of that ability to see through the title, you're thinking like, okay, someone's just like all the other rappers is rapping about how crime pays. But you doing a whole twist, basically directing the target at the real criminals at this stage.
The organizer of crime.
Yes, sir.
The organizer of crime. So my work is largely influenced by like my sociological lens, right? I'm trained as a sociologist and then as an educator. So I'm always going to look at the societal structures, the cause and effect, and really who's behind it.
Okay.
Right? Society has a lot of pawns, a lot of people they put off as the perpetrators of said thing, but there's always somebody behind the scenes.
No doubt.
And that's who I get at in this record.
That's deep. Now, the video that we checked out and the song that we talked about earlier, Sunny Days, we conversated about that. What was the whole history behind Sunny Days? Why is that one of those songs that really moves you and touches you so much?
In February, my spirit informed me that the sunnier days would be open hunting season on black manhood.
Wow.
This is in February. It was still cold. The sun wasn't out.
No doubt. This is before it really got thick.
Oh, before, right?
Yeah.
But my spirit informed me that sunny days would be open hunting season because the sunnier the days, the more we gather in larger numbers.
Okay.
When we gather in large number, it gives the police the perception that we need to be policed. The danger is poor quality policing always ends in our demise.
No doubt.
So, Sunny Days was an ode to police brutality, the trivial nature of being a black man in America.
No doubt.
How difficult that can be to maneuver. However, I did not project that the Sunny Days would also create open hunting season on black manhood by black manhood.
Yes.
I was a little offended that I missed that one. I was upset with me because before what I call the cold-hearted summer, right? In one of my poems, I say, despite the triple-digit heat waves, this has been one cold-hearted summer. So before the summer turned cold, our city lost my brother Kareem Johnson, shot and killed, and I was so upset that I did not see that even we would hunt us.
Wow.
Because of the poison, because of the crime. So the need to get paid, because of lack of employment, the economy is bad. It creates crime, and then they capitalize off of crime. So it just hurt me that I missed the fact that potentially one of us would cause harm to one of us, and that us being my brother.
Yes, sir. And I know this is a touchy subject, and talked about it before, and I don't want to get too far and deep into it, but I feel like it is necessary as we move further into just this conversation with your brother's passing. We spoke on the phone before and how you felt bitter at a time for the fact that you've done and your brother's done so much in the community to help empower, that it would be the hands of another brother to take your brother out. What are your feelings coming home, staying in D.C. as you do, coming home and having to deal with all the things that your brother has left behind and having to find that heart to move forward to continue the mission that you and your brother have started, and to continue it with understanding that it was one of us that pulled the trigger?
You ever seen the term, what would Jesus do?
Yeah.
Remember that? I remember it too, but I never really got an answer.
Yeah.
just kind of like a rhetorical question. But in my studies, I learned that Jesus suffered. So who am I to be exempt from suffering? The one who without sin suffered.
No doubt.
And did not break in faith. That I am not exempt from suffering. So I come back to do this work, no matter what it costs me. Suffering is with the objective in mind, knowing that there's glory to be inherit.
Yes, sir.
I'll take on the work, man. It hurts.
No doubt.
Because it feels like Some days feel harder and further than others.
Yes, sir.
Some days you feel really close to progress, and some days you feel really far from
You feel like you backstepped a lot.
it. Yeah, but I'm no longer bitter. I understand the circumstances that created the crime.
Mm-hmm.
Ultimately, I understand that the gunman is probably just like my students, who I serve in D.C.
No doubt.
who I describe on Crime Pays. Welcome to the District of Columbia. Watch where you walk, you better keep your feet up under you. I know some youngins who walk with a pump to keep their tummy stuffed, and if you try to stunt, they put the pump up to your tummy, bro. We understand that that's just in pursuit of maybe daily bread.
No doubt.
They have not yet learned to depend on God for it. So they look for it in someone else's pockets. But ultimately, it couldn't detour or derail what God sent me to do. And that was one of the greatest revelations. That through this pain, I still had work to do.
Wow.
I still have people to serve.
Yes, sir.
I still have growing to do. I still have work to do, bro. The work doesn't stop. It doesn't stop at the passing of my brother. It doesn't stop at the passing of me. It don't stop at it's not. We're not afforded the luxury to stop the work. So the work must be done. And I'm just here on behalf of the work. I come to work the works of He who sent me.
No doubt.
So I'll take my suffering and I'll take my exit slip. I'll do my work and I'll be gone.
No doubt. That's some real deep stuff. It's actually very spiritual, and I think that with the hip-hop game nowadays, with the music, we lack that spirituality. We lack some of that grit, that understanding. We don't get into in depth like you
We
get
lack
right
to
now.
acknowledge it.
No doubt.
I don't think any spirit can ignore the spirit. I think every spirit is aware of its spirit.
But I feel like the spirits it's taken is the spirit of greed, materialism. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. But like even like people know who I am and what I'm about.
Yes, sir.
The spirit recognizes it. But for me, hip hop was, a soundtrack for hope.
Because you started with poetry, but spoken word before you started with actual hip hop, right?
Yeah. Well, as for the public, I actually started rapping first.
Oh, okay.
Asked God to correct my tongue.
Okay.
I didn't make music for 7 years, did poetry for 7 years straight, and realizing how effective I was able to get through to people.
Nice.
While measuring every word of my tongue. And I always knew that I was going to come back to the rhythm.
All right.
Hip hop was always in me. My brothers taught it to me.
No doubt.
Kareem, Keon, right? Like they gave it to me. But I chose to let the market follow its own trend.
Yes, sir.
It had high saturation, a new rapper every Tuesday.
Oh man, tell me about it. A new dance step.
So I let him go, and I sacrificed the greater good.
Okay.
And this message is a right on time message.
Almost as definitely, and I think it's going to be what hip hop needs. Now, when we go back into gunning back into some current events, situations, and stages, and when we talk about green lights, what do you feel the state when we hear the slogan? And you had a lot of press with one of the hashtags that you had. What was the hashtag again that you had? That sign that you had picked up.
It says, truth is, we're all one bullet away from being a hashtag.
So now the newest hashtag, and you got a lot of press with that, is Black Lives Matter.
Yeah.
One, do you honestly believe Black Lives Matter? Two, do you feel that this is a new awakening for black people?
I do believe that black people understand the precarious nature of being black in this country, and overwhelmingly it's becoming dangerous to not know. Okay. So people are seeking knowledge. They haven't quite figured out which way to go, but they're seeking because they're understanding that not knowing is dangerous.
True.
So there is an age of information awakening among the good people. But relative to the hashtag Black Lives Matter, I think it's a brilliant way to spark social dialogue. I think they've leveraged social media to one of its highest points, where it materializes in real life. And I think those who are behind, bless them, who are behind Black Lives Matter, understand that Black Lives Matter. The difficulty is getting others to understand that Black Lives Matter.
When you say that, and I don't mean to laugh because it is funny, because the whole thing is like Black Lives Matter. But when we say, does it really matter? Who are those people that you're saying trying to convince those other people that Black Lives Matter? You and I both know what it is, but I think sometimes we got to go deeper into it to let people really know what's going on.
Well, I'll tell you this much. It always will matter. It always matters. Black lives always matter. Uh, because if to the contrary all lives matter, then isn't black life life? So then I
No
wouldn't have
doubt.
to say all life matters if we understand that the life in question is being treated less than life is a black life.
No doubt.
So it's trying to enlighten you that, hey man, this is a life that for your own good. See, because you can't, still waters run deep.
Yes, sir.
So though you think you're taking advantage of me, you're really waging war against your own soul.
Wow.
So any racist body, namely, white supremacy as
No
it's
doubt.
designed
Talk to
in
him.
this country,
Hmm.
um, it's just such treacherous waters.
Well, what
I fear for them.
Yes, sir.
I truly fear for them.
Because they're trying to hold on to something that they've held on to for so long
Bro,
with guilt.
Bro, this is of the spirit.
Yes, sir.
So the spirit, they can have what they want here.
Mm.
If you want it that bad, and you make it your God, then God be with you.
No doubt.
Right? But this is a spiritual thing. The world, I don't think that suffering is ever going to end. I don't think racism is ever going to end. I don't think suffering is ever going to end. I don't have any hope in this world.
So you feel that the continuous marching, protesting, law changes, rule changes, whatever we're doing, you don't believe that it will change
No.
or spark?
No.
No.
No. The danger for me is that I don't know how to not fight.
Okay.
That's why I haven't given up. But I don't think it's going to change because
You don't think it's going to change in your time, your decade, or your kids, or all my kids?
I don't think it's ever going to change. I think this is a matter of the spirit. I think the objective here is to find peace of mind and spirit and follow the Most High. I'm fighting to instill at least enough hope to last, to endure oppression, enough hope to endure and last racism, enough hope to outlast hopelessness.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I'm doing it for. I can't tell you if we'll ever change. I can't have that much faith in humanity. I can't. I've seen I've seen our ugly side.
Yes, sir.
That of my own even.
Mm-hmm.
So to this, I just fight because I'm glitched. I don't know how to stop.
You don't know how to
fighting.
stop.
I don't know how.
And everybody around you don't know how to stop. I think that becomes a touchy thing because sometimes when you see things that are so dark and things like we're battling a system of white supremacy that has been here for decades and planted in anything that we do. And then I would also like to ask this question: do you think that some blacks actually benefit off of white supremacy?
It's capitalism. White white supremacy feeds capitalism. There are several people who benefit off of capitalism because they think that they want their piece of heaven now. Brother, you can have it.
No doubt.
This is bigger. The conversation on white supremacy is an entirely separate conversation.
Yes, sir.
It's not separate of anything we're talking about, but to understand it and how it works and how it hides.
Because I don't think that many people understand it at all.
Oh, it hides so well. It hides so well. It hides so well, but it can't hide in darkness where there's light.
No doubt.
So soul spoken, source of light spoken. So nothing can hide from it.
No doubt.
Nothing can hide. So it's only a matter of time before it's exposed. I just hope they get their hearts and their minds right.
Well,
This is
I hope they do because the experience right now is real. When we look at everything right now with police brutality, the things that you're doing, what would you want to say to a young black male on what they should be doing right now? As we have the movements of Black Lives Matter, as we know that there is a conscious effort in the black community with soldiers like yourself, me, and other different organizations that are definitely reaching out to our young black brothers and young black sisters to stop the violence in our own community. I think that we don't get enough press on that. It's always when you have that conversation when they're like, well, cops are killing blacks, and they're like, well, what about black on black crime, whatever. But what do you feel that we need to do collectively?
So really quickly, about black on black crime, I just told you, crime pays. They don't solve crime.
Yeah, I mean
that yeah. So they move
crime pays. That solves it all. That solves it all right there.
They don't solve crime. They move crime, and that's why there's black on black crime.
Yes,
They
sir.
move it all in the same proximity. But to a young brother, I would tell you this. I would tell you that your education is your liberation.
Talk to him.
And your education is not just in the formal hours of school instruction, but it's a shift in your conscious mind and shifting in your spirit where you quest information, you thirst after knowledge, and it's going to permit you to travel the world. You were born on earth, not to the state in which your birth certificate says. So you see as much of God's green earth as possible, and then you start doing the math and having it make sense, because geographic boundaries sometimes skew reality or skew the truth. See more, understand more, and be liberated. And I mean, today we are here gathered on behalf of hip hop and the celebration of Kwanzaa. We're gathered under the roof of Upgrade and Still Grinding, right? This is a black man who saw the need to own something.
Yes, sir.
To the service of his community.
No doubt.
So, young brother, you got some work to do. We need a meeting spot. We need you to build and own. I got work to do. We got work to do.
We definitely got work to do.
Young brother, you have to learn. You have to learn. You have to make learning your currency. Make learning your currency. And submit your spirit to the Most High. Because even in all the learning you learn, some days this will not make sense. And it can break you without faith.
No doubt. That's good. Peace, King.
Making money off of crime every time. Welcome to the District of Columbia.
My land, where it's all about the cautious living.
Dollar signs is the bottom line.
Now let me tell you what it's all about.
The profit-driven system making money off of crime.
What it's all about.